During a lunch break on their way to Philadelphia to visit Abner, Thomas asked Jesus, "Master, are spiritual beings involved in causing strange and unusual events in the material world, and are angels and other spirit beings able to prevent accidents?" In answer to Thomas's question, Jesus said, "Have you not noticed that the Son of Man leads an ordinary life? Do you not see how I consistently refuse to use the influences of heavenly powers for my personal sustenance? Do we not breathe the same air? And do we not eat the same bread? Do you see the power of the spiritual world manifesting in my earthly life? Yes, I have occasionally used it to support the revelation of the Heavenly Father, and sometimes to heal His children afflicted by disease and ailments. But for too long, the Jews have believed that prosperity is a sign of divine approval, and that adversity is proof of God's displeasure. I tell you that such views are a form of superstition. Do you not see how the poor receive the gospel with much greater joy? How they, without being attached to wealth, immediately enter the kingdom? If wealth is proof of divine favor, why do the rich so often refuse to believe this heavenly good news? God lets it rain on both the righteous and the unrighteous, and so the sun also shines on the righteous and the unrighteous. You have heard about the uprising that the Romans quelled in the temple, where the blood of Galileans was mixed with that of the sacrifices. But I tell you that these Galileans were not in any way more sinful than their fellow human beings. They were victims of a cruel practice, but this says nothing about the salvation of their souls. Or consider the Tower of Siloam that recently collapsed and killed 18 men. It is absolutely wrong to think that these unfortunate people perished because they were the greatest sinners in Jerusalem. No, they died because the maintenance of the tower had been neglected for years. They were ordinary people who were in the wrong place when this tower collapsed due to lack of maintenance. There are 3 levels in which you experience events. 1. You can undergo the normal events that are part of the cycle of life as it unfolds under normal circumstances on earth. 2. You can unexpectedly fall victim to a natural disaster or a fatal accident. But understand that such events are not preordained or otherwise caused by the spiritual powers of the realm. 3. You can reap the benefits by harnessing the laws of nature, by cultivating and farming the earth. There was once a man who planted a fig tree in his yard, and when he had long looked in vain for fruit, he called the gardener and said, "This fig tree has borne no fruit for 3 seasons. Cut down this barren tree. Why should it take up this fertile soil?" But the gardener replied to his master, "Let it stand for 1 more year. Then I will dig around it and fertilize it. And if it bears no fruit next year, then it shall be cut down." And they decided to wait another season, because the tree was alive and healthy, and they were rewarded with an abundant yield. In matters of illness and health, you should know that these physical conditions are the result of material causes. Health is not the blessing of heaven, nor is illness the curse of God. The children of the kingdom do not have any preferential treatment from God regarding material blessings. God grants material things to the children of men without making distinctions between them. However, when it comes to bestowing spiritual gifts, the Heavenly Father is limited in distributing these divine gifts by how spiritually developed a person is. Although the Father is no respecter of persons, He is limited in bestowing spiritual gifts by the measure of a person's faith and their willingness to consistently adhere to the will of the Father.